this is easy to get working against the source, because I think, hold on. So let's kind of run through this in versions. So what have you done on this sample so far? Is this using the NuGet that I had?
No, this isn't using the NuGet. This is just using whatever the latest 4.4 is.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so I checked out your stuff. So after the stream is over, I'll create a fork. I'll create a pull request maybe that works with the forms module.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then so we can just have this working against the forms module.
Okay.
I think I only have to add it to the Android head project for the source to work, if I'm remembering correctly. But let's see. All right, so I updated. Let's see.
Just trying to think here.
6. All right, but let's just see if this runs real quick. Hey, Rodney. All right. Yeah, so we're starting out. This is kind of getting we'll see how much we get done today. A lot of it is getting Prism set up so that Prism we can start hacking on this stuff. So let's see. I'm first just making sure this runs, and then we can start adding the external projects in required for Android. Let's see. So if I use, let me just use as an example, one of the projects that I have. All right, so this is the repo I have that kind of runs things against source. So I'm just looking at the proj file here to make sure I include all the correct references here. Here we go. Targets is what I want. All right. So these are the projects I'm going to add. All right, welcome to Forms. Cool. So this is, I'm assuming, what you expect to see?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so this is just running with that app.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Hello World app right now.
Yeah, okay, cool. Cool. So external, let's go. This is kind of a slow process, but we'll push through it. The streams will get more exciting as life goes on. Prism, shell stream, forms. All right, so let's go through and add the projects we want. Actually, I know a better way to do it. No, because it's the solution. Ugh, I wish there was an easier way to edit solutions, so I could just add these in.
I just always use Visual Studio Code. Like usually I have like the same project open most of the time in Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio.
But you can add them into the solution easily because it has to add all those like weird GUIDs and stuff.
Well, if you're in code, you can grab the GUID for the project. Much easier.
Let's see. I'll just do this. There's not too many of them since we're just doing Android right now. There's not that many projects that we have to add. So then Xamarin.Forms core. And then, I don't know, what else do I need to add? I think that's most of them.
Well, don't you have to do the Xamarin.Forms XAML or something too?
Yeah, that one's on there. I'm going to edit this. This will let me work with it. All right, so here's the project references. So let me I'm just grabbing all the project references that I have in this other project that I'm using to reference the Android here. And then this we should be able to replace with just .. Xamarin.Forms. We don't need material. We'll ignore that. So let's see. Does this have any of kind of the existing work that you? Because I know you had been working on this a little bit before.
I had done a spike a while ago, but it really kind of needs to be redone, though.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Oh, did I do the pathing wrong? Dot dot. Oh, I need 2 dots. On the project. Where's our project? Oh yeah, because that's what you had done. All right. Fingers crossed this goes smooth. Adding the source always just kind of works, or you sit there staring at it. So let's hope this works. It'll just make the conversation easier if it's against the source. And then we can kind of make changes, and then I can maybe push those up. All right, so those are all there. The only other thing I think we'll need to do is...
I would say any changes that you made to the Prism Forms project, just send it to me in Slack. That way I can actually commit the changes for you.
Okay. Yeah, so here's the... All right, so this, we're going to exclude that. And then let's just delete the support library. Is that everything? I know sometimes I have to add a weird task thing. So I think this should work. This is only adding it to the head project, which I think will work is good enough for the source. I hope so. I'm trying to remember. But I think that'll just make it so since all the binaries that are actually running are the ones that are source, even though everything else before it is being compiled against NuGets. Might have to do a bin opt clear.
Okay.
Can't find platform project. All right. Let's see. Build. Cancel. Add existing. So I think that's going to be this guy. All right. So where are we at? Forms core. Didn't I add core? Yeah, I had core right there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you're complaining. Oh, there we go. All right, everything's just getting synced up. That's what it is. All right. Those little yellow warnings are always so annoying on here. I wish you could just hover your mouse over them and they just showed you.
If only you knew someone at Microsoft who works in Visual Studio.
Yeah, boy can dream. Let's see, where are we at? Hi, Hussein. All right. This is going to... Did I check out the wrong... I thought I checked out the right one. That's weird. All right. Well, let's delete that for now. That actually, I think, turns into this one. All right, let's just comment that out for now. Is this the wrong branch? I'm confused. Because I thought I ran this and it compiled. I might have not pushed changes is what I did wrong. All right, let's try that. Let's see. So do we have... All right, that built. All right, so let's see if anybody wants reference. Do you remember the PR number that we were working against on this?
I don't remember that. But right. I did put the link to the project we're working on in the chat.
All right, cool. I think this is going to work. Might just have to do a clean source. I'll name that something else some other day. And then let's just clean it out real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then restart it. Yeah. Prism sample here. Let's see if I can find the shell issue real quick. I don't remember if it was shell MVVMs, shell structure. Structural management, here it is. Yeah, so if people want to see the issue, there's the issue, which I updated with the APIs. Yeah, so that has all the that's kind of what we're working with here. All right, so what area is good to start here with the Prism stuff?
Just trying to think here. So I mean, let's maybe take a let's just kind of take a stab at implementing everything for the shell navigation. So I mean, if I'm going to process a URI natively with shell, like what we need to do here.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. So one thing I was curious about, hey, there we go. Look at that. It's all against source. Once you do this 40 times, it seems to work. But let's just make sure that I'm not lying. I just wanted to make sure that it actually hits the source code here. But it's not lying. Oh, did it decide to crash this time? Or is the breakpoint just being weird? Oh, that's the dry IOC container. I see. It seems like it's not running against the source code. Oh no, it is right there. Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Now something you said earlier is resonating. This is just a blank app, not even using shell. So that's why Okay, that's why shell code's not even being hit. All right, yeah.
Yeah, actually I was just kind of adding a few things to do something with shell here.
Yeah, so the we can change out this main page to shell. Oh, I guess it's just generating it locally, so it's whatever. Cool. All right, so basic URI stuff. So let's see,
well, I guess we kind of do need to start with like adding some shell content and shell items here.
Yeah, right? So one thing I was curious about, I was wondering if there's sort of if there's a way to go at this kind of with a I don't know, a smaller set of features. Like what would be the smallest chunk of this navigation or structural management that could get pulled in?
So as I recall from one of our last conversations, we had an issue where, like, if you have your shell item, we wanted to give it, some sort of path name, right? But there was an issue. I'm trying to think of how it was, but it was basically like if you didn't have an actual content set or you didn't have a data template, it would explode.
Okay, yeah, because you're wanting to create things.
Because we're going to create it on the fly.
Okay, so for example, to what extent on the fly? Like, do you want the shell page to just look like this? Or did you want to have kind of a structure laid out where it's at least something like this, and then this would just be routes equals home, like that.
Yeah, so I mean, like if you have your route set as home and you just, in the Prism navigation service, you say home, you should get to that tab bar to that tab where you have home.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's get that case working. So let's see. Did you Prism enable this to some extent? Yeah, so there's a bindable base there. And then, so this needs to be, okay, so main page view model.
Yeah.
I guess if we were doing this sort of in a shelly way, the main page view model, would you think of that being bound to the shell, or that being, or are we going to create a new home page?
Well, for right now, because it's going to be tricky to figure out exactly how we're going to implement this, so that way you can use legacy navigation or shell navigation. But for right now, I think we'll just kind of hardwire it up to, pass in what we need to pass in. We're going to have some sort of service though for iNavigation service.
Okay. So let's see. So I guess let's give home page view model here. And some of this is going to be a little bit of a crash course on. I can actually expand this. Hold on. Let me look at my window real quick. So I can I'm optimizing window space and stream space. Let's see.
Rodney, yes, we are planning backwards compatibility.
Yeah. All right. So whole page view model of this. All right. So what's the code? Where do I register the route? Okay, navigation service here. You've already set that stuff up. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Register for navigation. Okay.
Yeah. So the only thing you would need to really do, because main page is not really a page anymore; it's the shell.
Yeah.
So we can kind of ignore main page for now, and we're just going to do the home page.
Okay. Cool. So we have home page. Route. Oh, okay. We'll just call the route homepage for fun. And that's going to navigate to the existing one. Navigation service. So this is the Prism navigation service. All right. So where do we wire into to the navigation? Are we creating a shell Prism navigation service?
Yeah, we're going to create a shell Prism navigation.
Okay. Cool. So that would just be, where would you like that?
It doesn't matter. For right now, you can even put it in the Prism sample application, the sample application, and then I can move it over later.
Okay, so just put it in here.
Yeah.
Okay, that works. We'll just create a services folder for now. Class. So this will be shell Prism navigation service. Cool. And then the interface for that was what? Just iNavigation service? All right.
Yeah, iNavigation service. Yep.
iNavigation service. And then implement interface. I don't know if it'll. I'm just going to do it explicitly for now. And then, does this get registered in here? Where do I register? Do I just register it like this?
So if you go back to the app in register types, just register it in there.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Where do I go for it?
So just right.
Where I am right
now. Yeah, right where you're doing the register for navigation, like anywhere in there is fine.
Just a straight register call like that?
Yeah.
Okay. And then is the first part the interface or the second part?
First part is the interface.
Okay. Cool. All right, so that's going to now just route to our Prism one. So I guess in theory, to simplify this out, the idea was to either you could implement all your interfaces, or there's the with the shell thing, I pulled in this shell navigation service, which kind of gives us a place to start. So we can kind of start here, and then maybe, oh, is this, oh, this doesn't have, oh, that doesn't have that NuGet. Okay, so we might have to wire up Xamarin.Forms core. Yeah, I might have to wire up Xamarin.Forms core to source real quick. Wah wah. But hold up. Since it's using new bits. But I think we already have all the libraries added, so this shouldn't be too tricky. Let's see. All right, so let's see, exclude assets, and then project reference. We can grab these. So we might have to add 2 more quick projects on here, and then I think we should be good to go.
Okay.
Cool. All right, and then, oh, we don't need maps. No maps for us. And then this is going to add claps. Let's add a couple projects real quick. Custom attributes. And then, what was the other one? The other one was our build tasks. The build tasks is what processes all the XAML. Then we might have to do a quick clean. Let's unload this project real quick. Let's see if we can be lazy about it. See if this is enough. All right, fingers crossed that worked. Are there any other assets here? I might have to add this in here, but we'll see. All right, I might have to add a couple more projects in here real quick.
No worries.
So let's run this. So that gets the build tasks, and then import some targets here. There we go. All right, let's try that, see if that works. Dun, da, da. All right, let's see. Let's delete the bin obj. Let's reload, cross our fingers. All right, where were we messing with this? All right, let's wait for the dependencies to show up. Oops, this will be a comma. This isn't in a different folder, is it? Prism sample? No, it's right there. I have my doubts. What is this doing? All right, that's basic stuff. That's fine.
So then I actually just sent you a view model in Slack that you can pull in the code for.
Okay. Hold on. I might not be logged in on Slack on here. Can you send it on the Skype chat? Is that possible?
I can do that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm logged into the reactive UI on this user account here.
All right.
What did I? Oh, okay. I messed that up. Hold on. I know what I did wrong. So many dots. All right, let's see if that works. There we go. All right. All right, so let me grab, while that's hopefully compiling, I can grab this. So this is the homepage view model. I think that said success.
Actually, it might be good. Slow, but I'm just thinking, we should actually just do a live share here.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well, but let's see. Okay, cool. So I think that's working-ish. I might have to restart just to get the IntelliSense working, but let's see. Did I reference the build tasks wrong? Yeah, I think I didn't update the build tasks. Yeah. All right, just to be safe. Oops. So funny when you add projects, how they show up in your recent list. It's not helpful. All right. All right, let's see if our happy little... Oh, there we go. We have no little yellow warnings.
You spoke too soon.
Yeah, I think that one's fine. Just because I'm excluding the assets. So I'll just let this resolve. Prism is added by reference. Yeah. Hopefully that's working. It seems odd that it's still not pulling in the IntelliSense, but let's see. But it's not pulling in anything. Even task isn't resolving. But yeah, we could. Let's see if I can create a. All right, we'll mess with that in a sec. There we go. Where's the Skype window? The only thing might be that the
Oh.
All right, and then let's try the source here. Man, it really is not happy with the way this is building. Oh, you're so close. Let's see. Let me add one more thing here. Whoops.
Oh, I know I was going to do that. Hold on.
Let's see. There we go. Let's see if this gives us any better behavior.
Session not active, right?
Oh, there we go. Just because it's missing a using. All right, cool. All right. Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes sometimes getting the hardest thing with adding the source sometimes is getting the targets to run correctly. Let's see. Am I missing? Oh, here we go. So I have this working in like a file you can drop in, but we're going with this method for now. All right. So there we go. All right, so let's see if that gives us a happier. Oh, there we go. Cool. So that made our XAML file show up, which is a good sign. Anytime initialize component is resolving to something, you know you're happy. That means your XAML is actually generating something useful. Build succeeded. All right, slowly getting somewhere in life. All right, I don't know. I think it's working. It's so yeah. Okay, so now it's using the new code. I'm gonna unload the iOS project just so it doesn't cause any issues since we haven't wired that one up. All right, so where are we at? Okay, so you're navigating. So the idea here is that the app.xaml initializes the navigation. So this is just gonna, I'm guessing this goes straight to a thingy. Yeah. So this goes straight here. So that's the URI. So we can kind of skip on the URI parsing a little bit. So navigate async, is that just going to call this one up here? Because this is, yeah, because there's no parameters. So it always call into here first, right?
Yeah, so let me, because like a lot of it is kind of boilerplate, just one method pointing to another. So like this here is really, well, actually, we're doing that explicitly. But this would actually call into the next one. So it would be like navigation service, this. Okay. You know, this is really ugly. URI, null.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so I mean that's really all that would be doing there.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then like these down here, basically going to do the same thing, except right here we're actually going to convert to a URI.
Okay.
Let me just do this. Change that out. Let me look at the Prism code here real quick. And who remembers anything they write, right? Where is it? Internal. So there it is. Okay. So then for this, basically the same thing, but we'll pass in the parameters. That's what Prism.common, I think. Problems in here.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking over the.
Where on earth did it go?
So this is the parser. This is the go-to. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think I kind of got this worked out. Let's see, sharing. Isn't there like a follow? Focus participants.
There we go.
Whoops. Sorry, I sent you a request.
No worries.
Let's see. Oh, there's two Dan Siegels.
Yeah, I've got it open in Code and Visual Studio.
Oh, all right. All right. Well, I'm following the one on the right.
I have no idea which one I'm currently in here.
Let's see. I think you're the left. You're the left one.
Yeah, there we go. I don't know why this is not.
Yeah, you're the left one.
Okay. You seem to have like actual IntelliSense. For me, I don't.
Yeah, for VS Code. Does VS Code
like
usually have IntelliSense?
Well, I'm over. Like I switched over to the Visual Studio one, and I'm still not getting anything. Anyway, let's see here.
All right. So I think, I mean, it's all resolving. I mean, there's no red dots.
Yeah. So we basically have it where like everything is going to point to this one implementation. So this is all we really need to implement for shell navigation. So as I recall, there were some things that you had put in there, some interfaces, excuse me, for like parsing, or like parsing the URI.
Yeah.
Creating everything, right? So what do we need to do for that?
So this definitely just comes down on the way to do it. So yeah, I mean, I guess this could just come because the the URI structures that come into Prism might not be things that are parsable by Prism by shell. So I guess it just kind of depends where you want to go with it. So the idea is that let's see. So there's a specific method here, parse async. So this is when shell gets a URI processed. This is where the state's going to get, where the URI is going to get taken care of. So let's see. So the idea here, I guess, and then the way all this stuff is interpreted out is out into these shell route states. So in theory, what you would do with the URI is you'd kind of need to generate this shell route state thing. Whatever that might be, Yeah. Yeah, whatever that might be for but I mean, on some level we could sort of move this forward a little bit instead of with the parsing. So like, for example, let's say we don't want to replace the parser right now. Really what you could do is just sort of bypass, I forget, is goto in here? I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, right now you could kind of bypass this idea, and then just we could just kind of say, all right, go to async URI for now, just to get to the point of where it's creating the I guess iNavigation result. I don't know, what's an iNavigation result specifically? What does that translate to? Success exception? Okay, cool. Yeah. So I guess in that case, then you would do something like this. Await, and then based on if this failed or not, you could do something. But then here you could just do. What do you have? Do you have static set up for this?
Yeah. Let me see here, because like I could done some stuff. I'm just gonna copy something over here.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, we could just kind of do this to start, and then start pulling out the part of code that has to do with creating. So this kind of wires. This sort of just does a pass through for the URI, and then what this I think will call into is create. So this should call into create, is my hope. here is
Mm-hmm.
that, so now when we run this, yeah, and then, I mean, the better way to do this also would be to just through unit tests, but we can go the slow route for now.
Yeah, so I just created the shell navigation spike. So this is basically the code that I had been working off of previously.
Okay.
Um,
Oh,
just so
I
we can kind
see.
of use it as a reference.
Yeah. Okay, I see. Um, not letting me open it. All right, hold on. Wait for it to. Oh, I think maybe the compile got mad. Open. Wait. Oh my God, what's happening? No. All right, let me try this. Man, it really doesn't want me to open that file. Does
You were
it?
just looking at it.
Is it like some weird?
You're looking at it right now. That's it. I don't know why it was showing you.
Huh, hold on. Does it create it locally for me? It's right here. Come on, open the file. All right, whatever. I just dragged it from the folder service. Yeah, okay, cool. So this was kind of pulling. Yeah. All right, yeah. So this is good. Okay, yeah, I see you're pulling a lot of this stuff out. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna comment this out real quick, just so we can get it compiling. Just because I want to make sure this is working how I expect it to work.
Sure. No, I just wanted to kind of bring it in so we can take a look at it.
Yeah. So I
For
remember. Let's see. So we have appearing, apply, create from segments. Okay, cool. Yeah, I remember this. Create. Whoops. Create from segments. I think I need to swap out the main page here. Maybe? What did I delete something? Where do you set what the main page is set to?
what do you mean?
Is it still just it seems like it's still loading an old page. Hold on. Oh, okay. I think for some reason when I add it's yeah, I don't know. It's for some reason the account my it just acts it acts weird on this account for some reason. I don't think it was recompiling the bits.
Mm,
Because I ran it and it still just showed the same hello world page.
yeah.
So that's why I was confused.
Well, did you? So if you go to app.xaml.cs, what do we have? Um, what do we have there? Because are we setting the main page?
I don't know, maybe I deleted it. How is there a certain way you set the main page differently on Prism or anything, or should I just set it right here?
Well, well, technically the navigation service would be setting that for you. So, um, like I can't see what you're navigating to right now. To the home page. All right. Yeah, we're navigating to home page.
So how do you set the main page usually on Prism apps?
So that would set the main page because there is nothing there. So it's going to recognize it's the first page in the navigation stack and set the application's main page.
Mm,
But that said, um, I mean,
yeah.
you're setting it as the home page. You're not setting the shell. So we're not going to actually use shell here. And let's try to think here. Because the shell navigation service needs to be a singleton as well, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, we never actually set any of this up, did we? We just kind of thought I just kind of thought it would magically work without doing anything. Yeah,
So we can change the registration to a singleton.
And then where do we wire up? How do we make it so the main page gets set to main page? Do we just do the view model? No, I don't know.
Well, for for this, because I mean we're kind of hacking some stuff together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we'll want to do is just kind of do the new main page, since that's our shell.
Okay, and that'll work. Okay.
Just for that. Well, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, would this be the way that you do it when we actually release it? No, but
Okay.
for trying to make something work right now, we can do this. Not a big deal.
Okay, that
Um,
works.
but we do, I think, don't we have to do something so that way the shell is also using our shell navigation service rather than the default?
Yeah, where does register types run in the workflow of things?
So register types would be before on initialized.
It runs before on initialized?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can just put, I don't remember if I created an override for this, did I? No, I didn't. I think I just set a thing. So I don't know, set navigation service.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we can do it right here.
And then is this could just create, this is, I could in theory pass this in. Yeah, you could do it here as well. Either
So,
way.
Like I could do that, right? And then shell dot, what was it, set navigation service?
Yes.
Container resolve I navigation.
Hey, if you want to have performance, do runtime registration. Otherwise, you have to pay reflection costs.
Yep. You know, I'm really not worried. I have a sample app that I like generated. It was 100 and something views that were all registered and everything. It added 100 milliseconds. I'm not that worried.
All right, let's see.
Actually, I should say my entire startup was 100 milliseconds for Prism itself.
Oh, I guess we're not setting the current page yet. All right,
yeah.
I'll let you keep doing your thing. I'm getting too excited and just running the code.
Oh, sorry. Yes, main page equals shell. So yeah, I wasn't sure because I was like, do I need to cast that as something? But no, you're just taking an object and then you do your casting. So I think that should be good now, right? Is there anything that you're...
Yeah, it should. Should we just F5 it, see what happens? Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Let's see if that calls into our service. Hello, darkness. So I don't know what happened there. Let's see. Hopefully this isn't just it being a weird. I don't know. For some reason, when I'm running on a different account, I have to recompile it. I have to delete the bin obj, but I only have to do it on this instance. I don't know. It's weird. All right, let's see. Resolve. It's weird that it keeps dying there with the breakpoints. Very confusing. Is it being? Let's see. Just see if it's being odd.
Well, the only thing is, I don't think we actually implemented anything, right?
I mean, the go-to...
Oh, no, or did you? Oh, you did.
Yeah, the go-to async should be called... I mean, the navigation service should be called... So, yeah, it should be called into...
What did you do for your...
And then let's make sure the service... Let's make sure the service works.
Well, the only problem that we would have, I would think, would be your shell content for homepage doesn't... Like, wouldn't Xamarin.Forms blow up on that?
It should at least make it to here. It should at least make it to this go to async call, and then it should at least. And then I put breakpoint into here into the create. So this create here should be called.
Okay.
So there might be. So there's something quirky. But I'm not sure what. Just want to see if all this runs. It's so interesting that it just keeps stopping here. I feel like it's registering my breakpoints in a very weird fashion. Yeah, it's just kind of like we're gonna break here for no apparent reason. Hold on. Where's our shell app here? Who's all going to the MVP summit?
I'll be there. You gonna be there this year?
I think so. Pretty excited. I'm gonna be Orton lackey for the sessions and stuff.
Well, hopefully we can get you guys to actually come out and hang out after hours there.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited. I was talking to Glenn Watson as well, and he's going to be out there, so it'll be cool to meet him finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun to meet everyone. I haven't really met anybody. I've met Littles, Hussein, you. I don't know if I met. I don't know if I met Ryan. Did I meet Ryan Davis?
Yeah. No sooner did I meet Ryan Davis in person than he calls me out for a bug in the app.
All right. This thing is running in such a weird fashion. What is it even doing? I'm so confused right now.
Oh, actually, Shane, that was the article I was talking about earlier, where a certain somebody puts a link to me in their blog post, but misspells my name on their blog post. It's even more fun that he's on chat right now too.
All right, let's see. I don't. For some reason, it's being super finicky. I'm fixing it right now. All right. I don't know. I feel like for some reason it's not taking the changes. Whoops. Go to Spotify. I don't know how the live session works. Are the live sessions the edits very smart? Like if I close Visual Studio?
I think if you close Visual Studio, it kills the live share. But if you need to do it, if you need to close it, then we can do a new share.
Yeah, let me. Let's see if I. Yeah, because I don't get what the breakpoints are doing. All right, let's try this again. Whoops, nobody cares. Unlike that. All right, let's try this again.
It took a while to figure out that the live share had died.
All right, let's see.
Close that. You have a new live share for me?
Yeah, I was just kind of making sure this was not being stupid first.
No worries.
I feel like there's an exception happening that's not being broken. Hold on. That's happening on somewhere else.
Too bad Pierce isn't on here so we can harass him about the Visual Studio not working.
Because it's just crashing when it initializes the main page. Oh, I bet it's because that. I don't know. It's probably because of that content. That's weird. It's just because it's just stopping when the shell gets initted, and then it doesn't go to the next
Hmm.
line. What is it doing?
Well, I mean, maybe try throwing all that in a try catch. See if you actually are catching an exception.
Oh, there. Now I went to the next line. Why did it go to the next line this time? You're killing me here. All right, so that's setting. All right. So this might be a bug in the way the debugger is running is so goofy. I wonder if it is getting confused with some of the bits. Hold on, let me try this real quick. We can also try the try catch. Bar navigation service. Just make sure that's being created. Let me try a try catch here real quick. Just for the heck of it. Breakpoint there.
You might as well catch the exception so you can see what it is if you end up there.
Yeah. Let's see. It's so weird it breaks into main page there. Like, who cares? Yeah, and then it just doesn't want me to step in. I don't know. It feels like it's getting confused about what's the source code. Um, for some reason.
Hmm.
I was just curious to see. Let's see. I just wanted to see if this is getting set. Yeah. Oh no. See the navigation service. Oh, see shell. Yeah. See that's getting all set. So that's being set to the shell Prism navigation service. For some reason the debugger is being super goofy.
Hmm.
What are you doing? Let's see. Does it matter? Hold on, let me think real quick. What all do we have referenced here? So this is referencing Prism is referencing forms here. All right, let's take a different approach real quick. Let me delete this, and then let's. Does Prism have any targets or things that run?
I think the only targets would come from Forms, but I don't think we actually, there's no XAML in there. So I don't think we really need anything.
All right, I was just making sure.
I'm pretty sure you might need a reference to Xamarin.Forms XAML, and then you would need a reference to Xamarin.Forms core for sure. But I think that's it.
Okay. Yeah, I was just removing the package reference real quick, see if that fixed. Here, one sec. All right, it rebuilt, so let's just see what that does.
Ryan, you should not believe rumors. Come on, man. They don't remove anything from Xamarin.Forms ever.
Who said they're going to remove XAML? I tweeted it. It's funny. Yeah, that's why it takes so long to vet PRs a lot of the times, because we can't really remove anything. So if we could just remove whenever, we just kind of go crazy with it. But no.
You guys are still supporting Net Standard 1.0 for crying out loud.
Yeah, that's because of PCL projects.
Which is crazy that anybody developing mobile is still using PCL.
Yeah, but we still comes through. All right, let me add exclude assets on this here. Let's see if this works. See if this solves my source code woes. It's modified. All right. Yeah, PCL was an interesting beast. Net standard's been pretty good. So when it's good, it's good. When it's not, it's super annoying. Like when you get those instances where the projects are like cannot resolve object. It's like, all right, what do I do with that?
Well, especially with like Net Standard 2 and 2.1, it's really not that difficult to update from PCL.
Yeah, it's yeah, I mean the only reason you'd stick with PCL is if for some reason it's just third-party support.
I would have said because you hate yourself, but
yeah.
I mean you can use a PCL from your Net Standard library. It's not a big deal.
Oh, okay. So this is now that that's not coming in, I'm gonna need to add some packages here.
Hmm. Good old Android support.
Yeah, in theory, that'll slowly get a little less crazy. We're gonna have the Android XPR merged, hopefully in the next week or two, and then all of that's a little less weird. But I don't know.
I feel like it's probably going to create major headaches for a while.
Yeah, there's just a lot of weird edge cases we hope aren't going to come up. A lot of the work Matt did with the migration things should make it work. Should make everything work fine. The only case that where you sort of get hit by something, stupid dialogue, cancel. I don't trust you. The only case where you kind of get hit by something weird is if you're wanting to go full Android X, then you have to kind of rework some of your renderers to use the new namespaces, but it's not that crazy. Holy crap. It used package.config.
What?
Why does that dialog use package.config?
Good God. I don't even know why Visual Studio still supports that.
That's so weird.
I mean,
Why did that just happen?
It should blow away package config and go to package reference.
You gotta be kidding me here.
Uh,
Ugh, can I just roll back? Did I do my changes in here? Let me check.
so do you have like any real kind of Git tool like source tree or um, like I don't know.
Oh, it's right there.
What's the other one? Or Git Kraken is another good one.
Let's see. I haven't used Git Kraken yet. I know people really like it. I do kind of just a mix of um, command line, the Visual Studio one, and whatever that other one is, and Git Fork. I've started using some.
Mm.
So Git Fork works pretty well.
Yeah, I know I've always been a big fan of like source tree because I can go line by line and just say I want to undo this line or stage this line. Kind of helps protect myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could probably investigate some more of the tools. I know Ort now really likes a lot of the JetBrains ones. I used when I was first using Git, I used Source Tree. I remember.
Hmm.
I don't remember much about it though. I feel like I should leave. Hold on, let me grab. Where's the sample?
So yeah, I would say so. I know Rodney said Git Kraken does it too, but it doesn't. Like it does and it doesn't. Like Git Kraken is not as good about like line by line stuff. It's fine with humps, but not line by line.
Mm. All right, let's just add these ourselves. That's so crazy that that tooltip uses. I wonder if it's just because of Xamarin Android uses that by default. If you don't set like the NuGet manager on it,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where I feel like some point someone will show me their source software, and I'll be like, oh, that's cool. I should totally start doing that. But a lot of times I use source control, and it just seems like it works fine enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't have a major requirement that it's lacking. All right, we're getting somewhere a little bit slower, but we're getting somewhere. All right, let me try this real quick. The only thing here now is I don't know if it's pulling in the assets from your projects. Is the only thing I'm not sure about, but we'll see. All right. Why? Yeah, I mean, let's see, Git fork has worked well. Why did I like Git fork? I don't remember why. I don't know. It's just random. I mean, a lot of people I know, like Stefan and Alex Corrado and stuff, just use VI for everything,
Mm-hmm.
which works fine enough. All right, let's see what this does. See if this gives us some progress here. I was curious to see what it was building. Hmm. It's a little interesting. Yeah, it's just man, it's just not happy with the source code adds for some reason.
Hmm.
I was hoping that that would all just work. Oh wait, hold on. Ugh, being silly here. All right, that's I think more what I want to do. Prism we can ignore. We probably only on the Prism one. Let's see, Prism.Forms and DryOC. I'm guessing are the only two that reference forms.
Well, dry IOC doesn't directly reference forms; it only does it like transitively.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just leave it off. All right. Let's see if that works. I kind of like Git extensions. Yeah, the Git extensions. I used the Git extensions forever, and they worked fine enough. That between that and just command line stuff, um, it all worked fine. I mean, I think there's some higher level tools that are cool. Like if you need to do some really heavy branch comparisons, or you're really trying to iterate through uh, you're trying to go backwards into a branch to sort of bisect what happened with something. But yeah. All right. Let's get this slowly built up. Yeah, it's weird how quirky the debugger is being on this.
Hmm.
What does okay? How does this work? What does DryOC forms use? It pulls in DryOC package. All right, that makes sense. What does Prism pull in? Source link. Okay, so that's what that was complaining about.
Yeah, I mean, if you need to update your local code base to disable source link, you can do that. It's kind of in there by default. Yeah,
Yeah, let's see.
it's part of our
Hopefully.
build.
All right. All right, cool. We're getting somewhere useful. I realized there was an error there, but just roll with me here for a sec. This is a different thing that's dumb. I thought that was the fix there. Method not found. That's not good. Oh, because then that's because there's. That's interesting that that would crash.
Hmm.
Ah, I thought we were doing so well with the source code. With the source code setup, but alas, we are not. Um, let's see. All right, hold on. Let's do this. Let's try this again real quick. See if this works. Yeah, I don't know. Might have to just play with this a little bit. Get. Oh wait, I don't want that off. All right, let's put the back here so the transitive values don't come. And then I think at that point I just need to add the dry IOC package. Here's the package reference. What version is dry IOC?
That is a great question.
Let's see, I can just pull it off of here actually. There we go. I'll just pull this one. So that that's being referenced here. All right, let's see what this does. All right, so that built. All right, I don't know. Let's see if this works. A lot of weird things that are working. Yeah, so I feel like it's still running the wrong code.
Hmm.
Just because the breakpoints there are just so odd. Because now it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of now we sort of looped back to where it was. Because let me see. Let's see if these breakpoints are actually working. Okay, well that one's actually being hit now. All right, so let's play with this and see if any of this stuff is actually being hit. Does this have a constructor? I don't remember if it does. It does. No, see, it's doing the same thing. It's so weird. Yeah, there's something that I'm messing up here with the source references that are just being super quirky. I don't know why. Never seen it break like that with the yeah, I'm not sure what would be interfering with it.
Hmm.
Let me see if I set anything wrong on here. Let's see, because I told it to exclude everything, so nothing should be transitively coming from any of the Prism projects. Um, yeah, none of the form stuff should be coming in. Let's see. If I checked assets, JSON, I'm just curious real quick. Now, see, there's the package, Prism. Hold on, let's go further up here real quick. All right, so this package, does this say what this is coming from? I remember how to parse these files through. What's that asset shouldn't be coming in though. I wonder what's restoring that. Prism forms. I thought I told that not to add though.
Hmm.
Let's see.
I'm surprised it's compiling at all if you're like if it has two assembly references for the same assembly.
Yeah, it shouldn't be pulling it in. It shouldn't be pulling it in with forms because I excluded all the transitive references. So it's
I
weird
mean,
that that.
what if you just delete the reference for right now and
Oh
then
wait.
reference source directly?
Yeah, I mean the pack. That's all. Like there's no package references in here to Xamarin.Forms. They're only in the Prism samples. They're only in the external projects.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Is like just remove the Xamarin.Forms reference in Prism Forms
Oh,
and reference the source directly.
yeah. I mean that's definitely the next place to go. Just to see if that works. So dry IOC doesn't even reference forms.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. It feels like the PDBs are getting off because it's definitely using the source code.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely using the source code that's here, because if it wasn't, it wouldn't even compile, because the shell navigation service and all of that isn't even part of the NuGet package.
Yeah.
So the binaries on here are definitely compiling against the source code we have added, but for some reason the debugger is getting confused, it seems, about what it should be using. So yeah, I mean, that's the only other thing I could think is what you were saying. Or what's the debug type to add? Is that right? Portable? I forget if
Yeah.
it's PDB or portable, but I don't know. Just as a last little Hail Mary. But I think we can do that because um, I think your code doesn't use much with your forms, so I don't think we really even have to reference much um, here, right? Like we probably only have to reference like what, core?
Yeah, we'd have to reference core and maybe the XAML. So if you look at assembly info, that'll tell us pretty quick, because I think the only place that we might use something from Xamarin.Forms XAML would be in assembly info.
See, that looks good. So it seems like that's good.
Well, I guess we're good then.
Yeah, let's see if that recompiles all right. Yeah, because it would be neater if it was just crashing and not compiling. But it's just weird because it's compiling against Forms core.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for some reason the debugger is just not happy. All right, let's see if this gives us a little bit of a happier story.
I know I might be a little bit of a weird one on this, but I almost wish we actually had like a Xamarin.Forms core NuGet and then like XAML NuGet, and then the Xamarin.Forms NuGet just kind of became the aggregate rather than bundling everything inside the one NuGet.
Yeah, man, that is still not working. Man, the debugger's just going haywire.
Hmm.
Actually, let's see. Prism is here. All right, here we go. I deleted Prism as well. Let's see what that does. All right. All right, so there's nothing in the JSON adding. So let's see what that does. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to open. Just want to see something here. Just wanted to see, let's see, code, Xamarin.Forms core. we know added on there? I was just seeing if they're specifying the debug type will fix something. No, that's not what I want. I want the control gallery.
So you should move the browser into full view there on the screen.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. It's not that exciting. I guess it's more exciting than nothing, but let's see. I don't see it on there, but what about here? I thought we set it on here. Output type, library, optimize, allow unsafe blocks. Let's see. We put it on here. Maybe we didn't. Where's the search?
Usually I only ever see it on the Net Standard library.
Yeah. PDB only is what we have that one set to.
Yeah.
Portable. I don't know. I can set it to full. Yeah, see, it's still all right. So it's opening with a black screen, but let's see. Let's just see if this is now. Oh yeah, IntelliSense even went away. Yay. Where are we looking at? App here. Right there. All right, let's see if for some reason these breakpoints are happier. So that's fine. That's something. All right, there we go. All right. All right, so the service is being called. Are we better, or are we just mildly?
Well, I think this is the first time we actually got the service to be called, so.
Yeah, well, the service keeps getting called. It's the main thing. I just wanted the stupid breakpoints to work.
So I know Rodney was asking, is there anything in the homepage, or is it blank right now?
There's stuff there. It's just like the welcome message.
Oh, okay.
But we have GoToAsync getting hit, so we can at least follow through. We at least have something working now.
Okay. Did you want to do the share again?
Yeah.
All right. I wish it would open on the right screen.
All right, now it's walking through. Yeah. All right. So here's where it's calling into the thing. So here's the shell UI parser, shell navigation service. Okay. So but this is not wiring up to what we added. That shouldn't be of type shell navigation service. Unless, is that what I called it? No, I called it shell Prism navigation service.
Mm-hmm.
So the service is shell. Oh, okay, yeah, because this is what's called from the constructor. Yeah, this is what's called from the constructor. And then our code. So I don't think, did I do this wrong? Okay, yeah. So there's a little bit of a timing issue there. Here, one sec.
Mm-hmm. Shane, I can't hear you anymore.
There's a little bit of a timing issue here.
Okay.
Yeah, because the go-to async is called from the constructor when it's sort of setting up the XAML. Yeah, because it parses the XAML, and then as it's parsing the XAML, it's yeah, it's. I think that's probably where I'm just kind of looking for the main page. Yeah, see, here's the initialized component right here, on the main page. So just for now, we probably want to just set this. I don't know. There'll probably need to be a slight delay there, so that shell only instantiates. Shell only starts doing its stuff after it's maybe been set to a main page or something of that nature. But for now, this might have all changed when I added some of the code to make it more resilient when you add or remove things. So this container, is this container a static?
Yeah. Well, no, it's an instance variable, but you can access it through the static, like, current instance of, if you really had to. You shouldn't.
Okay. Yeah.
You should. I mean, what we would do is just add iContainer provider to, or actually it's iContainer extension is what needs to be injected into the constructor of the navigation service.
All right, one sec. I'm just seeing if I can fix the IntelliSense on here. Real quick.
I mean, technically speaking, another thing we could do here, if you need to, you can inject iNavigation service directly into main page, and then set the navigation service in there. So, like, if you needed to do it before initialize the component.
Yeah, let me hold on one sec. Sorry, I killed the session. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if it has to do with permissions or what, but because, like, this account I run streaming from, it's like a user. It doesn't have very many, like, permissions on my system. And yeah, it acts so much more quirky than, like, if I'm just, like, I never have these issues running on my main account. It's so weird. But let's see. All right, IntelliSense is back. So, all right. All right. So, what's the proper Prism way on this main page here to get this iNavigation service? You can just add it onto the constructor.
So you would, you would just pass it into the constructor.
All right. So this might take a little bit of a. So this should. So let's just set it like this. And then I might have to modify shell slightly here. Yeah, because this is setting, because that's going to set after initialize component.
Well, no, we're setting it before initialize component right now. Right?
Yeah, this thing is going to replace it, though, unfortunately. But let me see. All right, I can make this better in a sec, but we can. All right, let's just not overthink this too much. Where's the? All right, yeah, that's setting in the constructor. So then that should replace it in the correct time points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, there we go. All right, so yeah, Prism. All right, cool. So this is getting newed up. Oh, that freaking bug.
So now I also made a change in the app XAML CS as well.
Okay.
So basically, just instead of newing up the main page, just resolving it with the container.
Ah, okay, I see what you're saying. Makes sense.
Well, and really, we can get rid of all that navigation service stuff because we're not setting the navigation service here anymore, right? Or we don't need to for right now. Yeah, there's no reason to do that here.
Yay. All right, so now we've got to go to async. All right, sorry. So you're modifying, yeah, so we don't need any of that. It'll just resolve on the main page. That'll set. All right, cool. So now, no, we can do. I'm gonna have to bow out for dinner here in a sec.
No worries.
All right. All right. We took 9 steps back, and then we took a couple forward. So hopefully it's still dark, but hopefully we can kind of follow this path through a bit more now. I'm hoping, because last time I set a breakpoint here, it had the right navigation service. So Prism shell, yeah, cool. So it has the right service. So let's see, what are we doing here? Parse navigation request. The shell route state. So it's locating the route. So this is it finding the route path. All right, cool. Current route, path parts, apply shell item, shell content, shell item, apply parameters. If the current item doesn't equal this, but current item is probably all set. Yes, it's all set to the home page. That's all setting. Current item is setting. Cool. So I think that's all setting. So at this point, there's probably some code in shell that's not calling into the provider for some reason. Let's see, get or create content. Oh, it might. I wonder if this has to do with some of the visibility stuff I added. Yeah, it might have to do with some of the visibility stuff. Yeah. Let's see. So this fragment should get created. I'm just kind of trying to see where this code is not being called. All right, so go to async is being called. All right, where is that not making it to? I think I might know. I think it might be here. No, because that go to async probably comes from here. Yeah, so for some reason with the way it's wired up now. All right, so I wonder if it's broken because we don't have anything specified, or there's not a call being wired correctly. Let's see. I'm just going to add a content page here real quick and just see if that renders.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, that's not even rendering. So this might be an issue with the merge on that PR. Let me see. So if we go into shell renderer, all right, let's play with some of these here. And just see if we can figure out what's not playing nice. All right, create shut. All right, here we go. Create. So this is on element set. Here, attach flyout. Yeah, okay, content renderer, that makes sense. Okay, so the current item here is null. Yeah, all right, so there's a timing issue going on somewhere here. I don't know if it's caused by our navigation service changes or what. Let's see, is this? That's the renderer. Let's see. So go to async. Where is this? It's here. All right, so this should be running. All right, wonder if I messed up the merge on here for some reason. That's my theory. Where's the shell fragment? All right, here we go. Let's see. Current item is null. Okay, yeah, it looks like. Oh yeah, and there was this code that I need to fix. All right, yeah, I think I merged something in wonky here. Yeah, because I'm not setting the current item on the. All right, one sec. Let me locate. Let me see. Let me fix the merge on this real quick.
No problem. Yeah, I saw there was a PR for device begin invoke on main thread async. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, because I think when I fixed the merge, when we were just talking about all the Git stuff, and I messed up the merge conflict, so whatever. All right, let's see. Where do I set it? It sets it right here above the global counts. All right. Yeah, I think I was reading this property wrong when I did the merge. What did you say about begin on invoke?
No, I was noticing earlier there's an async overload coming in a PR for the begin on main thread or something like that, or was start timer or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw that one. Like, so it takes a task instead of an action?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might have been part of the timer fix. Current item, shell item. All right. There we go. Now we're actually creating the fragment. There's the renderer. Womp, womp, womp. What happens when I'm moving too fast before trying to start out this freaking stream? All right, there we go. Here's getter create content. Now it calls the shell content creator. All right, now we should be operating with Prism. Yeah, because now if we go to main page and we get rid of this, this should now call into our Prism service here.
Cool.
Yep, so there's the create call. Currently it's calling the base, which I think it'll just return null because we don't have it wired up to anything. So in theory, yeah, all right. So what's the Prism-y way to create this content then? We want to pass in something here, I'm guessing.
So yeah, when we want to create the page, like at some point we need to create the page, right? So
yeah, so what does that? The iDependency resolver or something?
It's iContainer extension.
Is that what would get injected into the constructor here?
Yeah.
Okay. iContainer extension? Is that what you called it?
Yep.
Cool. And then we'll save that locally. And then I'm guessing it's just what, like return resolve. Oh, and then this is where we were getting with the other stuff. So for example, here we have, what do we have? We have, it's a shell content, so we have the route. Yeah, so then what's the way this gets resolved from the route name then?
So this is where I kind of had it in that little spike that I included, but I don't have the code right now because we're not live sharing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I sent you another link.
Yeah, you killed that one. Remember?
Oh, it says you're on here. It says you
did
it. Yeah.
Oh, one. Oh, I guess it was just in the background. Never mind. This is what happens when you have too many open windows. Where are we at?
All right, so you did create from segment. All right, so that's this code.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, I'd just copy that over, honestly.
Okay.
So, and then that'll complain too about there's the iPage behavior factor that it's going to want.
Okay. And then this create page is, what is that? Here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we just called the container a different name, but whatever. All right, and then, cool. Let's getting closer. Page behavior factory, is that just something that's injected in, or?
Yeah. So you just inject the iPage behavior factory.
All right. And then the page utilities, where is that?
That should be coming from prism.common. It's not, it's a static helper.
Oh, it says it's inaccessible due to protection.
Or actually, it's in the, just go to it and change the, because it might be private or internal. Just change.
Okay, so that's one that that'll be accessible once that's actually internal.
Yeah, so we'll just have to make it public for right now. It's fine.
All right, so in theory, that should give us what we want.
Yeah. theoretically.
All right. Create page, home page, set view model. Oh, it broke out to here. I feel like there was an error there. But maybe not. Maybe it'll just run. All right, so there's the view. Though I feel like there was an exception. No, because it wouldn't have got to the return page. So, let's see. Yeah, it got there. All right, so let's just prove something to ourselves real quick.
So we got the page, right?
Yeah. I'm just seeing if...
And the page should have had the... well, so there was a message, but we didn't pass anything into the message.
Yeah, I just added a quick property.
What you could do is just... what a good test would be, actually, is just bind to initialized, and then just... So we see the value of initialized, because if initialized is true, then we know that we not only have our view model, but that initialized was called.
Cool. Hello from Prism. So that works. I feel like the initialized wasn't called, though. I set a breakpoint, but it didn't seem to do anything. But let's see.
Great.
Yeah, so the initialized is false, but it's definitely setting the view model because I'm binding to label text from the view model.
Yeah. Let's take a look at this here.
Oops. Are you on the live share one?
Yeah, so okay, so at this point, because all we're doing is create from segment, so at that point we wouldn't be calling initialize because we're not doing anything with the navigation parameters yet.
Okay. Yeah, it's not, for some reason it's not following you. But I don't know why. Where are you at?
So I was just looking, so in create page from segment.
Okay.
So we're not actually, like, we haven't actually done anything because we don't have the navigation parameters. So this was where, let me see here. This is where it gets a little funkier. Because what we kind of need is we need to be able to get the navigation parameters. I'm just trying to think how we might do this. Well, actually, let me think here.
Let's see. There's navigation parameters that are on the shell content here.
Yeah.
So at this point, I mean, your navigation parameters are just, I think they're just, hold on, let me close this. What was all on the args for the content create? Yeah, I guess I didn't add them on the shell, on the content create. So maybe that's another property we need to add. I'm not sure which of these are useful yet. Uh, let's see.
Yeah, because like we'll definitely want that. I mean, one of the things that we'll have on here, though, I mean, because I'm just thinking, like, it's actually going to be problematic. Are you able to update this for the create page to be async at all?
No. I mean, in theory, I could. The only thing is just that, like, right now, when it creates the page, it's doing it very on demand from, yeah, like you would probably do it earlier. Like, what are you trying to call, I guess?
So we have initialize and initialize async. So if like the whole point of initialize is it's only done the first time that the page is created or navigated to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to think of how we might deal with that. We can
Yeah,
deal with that another day.
yeah, I think we had chatted about this a little before with the spike. I mean, not necessarily saying this is the best way to do it. Um, because I think, yeah, because I remember this is how we did.
Yeah. Well, maybe let's not focus too much on that aspect of it for right now. I know you needed to get going for dinner too.
Yeah,
Um,
I think this is how we were doing it when we had chat. Whether this is the
yeah.
best way to do it or not, let's see. Because this is now, this is a little too early in the cycle, though. I feel like it should be later. Um,
Well, because we have a couple of different things that we're trying to do. So you have like prior to actually navigating, like before the page is pushed onto the navigation stack, we're going to initialize it with the you know um, the navigation parameters, and then once the page has been pushed, then we're also going to add some navigation parameters to it, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. So is that once it's been pushed? So is that when it's become visible?
Yes.
So
Well,
I'm
potentially. I mean,
okay. Yeah, I mean, because so the point in time that let's see, when is create called? Create is called before it's appearing. So the create is going to be called kind of it's called right before like the fragment or whatever is created is basically when it is. So it's when the native platform gets to the point where it says so you probably yeah, so create's probably not the best async place just because
yeah.
that's when the platform is getting to the point and it says, "Okay, I've done everything I can possibly do up to this point. Now you need to give me a page." Whereas like the
Hmm.
navigating to async here, this plays into the async that's on go to. So like if they're
Hmm.
awaiting go to and you put a task here, that's going to sort of figure into that one as well. So I know that was
Yeah.
one way when I talked to you last time was to possibly do it because if you look at this future state, which is going to have it's going to have the next route here. So in theory,
Hmm.
what you could do is current route um, get current. Is that what it's going to give me? Yeah, I think get current. So this is going to be like the shell content that's being realized here. And then the shell content here will have the shell part. This shell part's going to be your shell content, you know? So this will
Hmm.
be like is shell content. And we had kind of even done this, I think, in the spike here. See,
Yeah.
because you were grabbing the path part, and then this is where you were sort of creating this whole section of code.
Yeah.
Um, whether this is the best way to place to do this or not, because I remember when I first had this, I had made create async, but then
Hmm.
all of the platform level create calls are non-async. So at that point, you start making things like on create view have to have like async void and stuff,
Hmm.
which just gets a little bit weird. Um, so it's kind of nice when you have the async call before when everything is sort of at the cross platform level before you've actually submitted context to to the platform.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if there's maybe a better method to make it part of.
Yeah, I mean, we can play with this more. I mean,
But
we don't have to tackle everything today,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah, but yeah. I mean, let me just see if this works just for the fun of it. So this was what I remember. This is what we had talked about on the call. Was doing something like this, and then we would do shell content path.
Mm-hmm.
This should be the route. Honestly, I don't think you even need this. I think you could just do this, but whatever. And then the shell content, we set the content. And then I remember the other thing we had talked about was maybe doing like a data template here. So instead of doing all of this, you could do something like shell content dot content template equals new data, like some sort of data template that creates the page was another thing I know we had talked about. But yeah, you could do this, create from segment. And then at this point, if you set this and you just return, and then here we just return whatever the route state is, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's doing it. It's a task. So here you could have your async stuff for initializing if you wanted to. But I think this works. And then at that point, I think we could comment out create. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's a little, maybe create needs, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, this is navigating, and then navigating, I don't know if navigating even happens a little too early, but it's hard to know because navigating happens before anything's even parsed. Well, no,
Mm-hmm.
so the URA is parsed. That creates the route state, and then it calls navigating. So maybe it's early enough in the life cycle. But so this should be hit.
Yeah.
The page is created. Man, the bugger is still being weird. Look, it's just like skipping past it.
Hmm.
It's not like letting me F10 to things. Ugh, so frustrating. Yeah. So like, what would you call here to do the initialization code?
Yeah, so it would be like page utilities. I think it's just like initialize async or something like that. I was trying to do it on my side, but I'm not getting any intelligence.
Oh, okay, so like on initialize async like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we could do page, and then the parameters. Is this just like new navigation parameters?
You can do that for right now.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can do that for now. We can do this. Cool, and then like this, we could even just await it, and then make this async, and then get rid of our task from results here, like that.
Yeah.
So it's probably better to do this code here with a data template than it is. No, because then you can't do the async thing. So yeah, I guess you're kind of stuck doing it like this.
Mm-hmm.
True. Look at that. Cool. Yeah, so that's kind of what I remembered we had discussed on the thing. So yeah, I mean that all wires up pretty well. Um, so the harder things are just knowing if like these shell route state concepts are make any sense.
Definitely. So yeah, I mean the big thing is just as long um, as long as on navigating to is before we push the page
It
onto the
is.
navigation stack, then that's all we really need for initialization.
Yeah,
So
it
that
is.
works.
Because that happens, it's basically the second thing that happens. So the first thing that happens is the URI is parsed,
Mm-hmm.
which then generates what the new shell is going to look like.
Yeah.
And then that new state is then passed into navigating. Um, yeah, and then that generates the final navigation request
Mm-hmm.
that essentially gets submitted.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess it's even debatable whether these need to be broken up. I guess they would because you wouldn't just override that. Yeah. So then that happens before anything. So at this
It,
point, like nothing has happened. So
okay.
like because whenever you go through here, when this code is this is one thing that I don't know. I might rewrite a lot of this once we get this idea in place because like right now what happens is it goes through the request and it updates the current item on things.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this is where you get into those annoying scenarios where things are so imperative because,
Yeah.
when this shell section is set, this triggers something on the renderer. So like right now, some code here is being triggered on the renderer, and then the shell section gets set, and then the other thing gets set. Ideally, what I'd like to do is be able to submit this navigation request to the platform, and then the platform could make an effective decision how to restructure itself instead of doing things just in an order here. So I don't know. That's kind of an aside. But yeah, basically navigating to async is called before anything happens. So
Okay. And then what would be like right after you've pushed it? Like, is there something that we can override for that?
I'm gonna assume no, but yeah, because we don't really have anything. We have appearing, so that's kind of does it. Nah, appearing's not gonna really do it. No, we don't really have anything for after.
Well, appearing would be fine, I would think.
No, because appearing gets fired before anything reaches the platform. So appearing is
Well, you've already kind of said, hey, we're pushing it. So because it's basically we need like a second part where okay, navigation is finalized now. Because like the way that we do it in the current navigation service, right? So we would create the page. We're going to initialize it, which we just did with the navigating async, and then we would call the Xamarin.Forms navigation service and actually push that page onto the navigation stack, and then we would follow up with our on navigated to and on navigated from at that point. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So the appearing is just going to fire somewhere in this loop here, based on sort of the way the structure is set up.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you're initializing it, I mean we can even just like we can just override it and see what happens. Appearing. I think this is even going to be fired. If I'm thinking of this correctly, this is going to be fired probably like right here. I'm thinking. Because the appearing stuff in shell is all very cross-platform. It all fires before it gets to the renderer. Maybe the appearing didn't get wired back up. Yes, I might have when I did the merge. Maybe I didn't do that. Let's see. All right, I might need to wire up appearing. Let's see. When does this get fired? All right, so this is getting fired. It's not propagating through. I need to fix this to propagate through. Yeah, see, because it's at least firing where I thought it was for the most part. Yeah, see, it's firing right here when the current item gets set. So it hasn't really propagated to the renderer at all. So at this point, it's just a cross-platform concept. So it's just saying that the shell current item has been set to current item. So now fire appearing on the page.
I'm good with that.
Okay. But then there's nothing that fires after the page has shown up on the screen.
Well, I mean, at some point the platform is going to send the page appearing and disappearing, and that's fine. We don't care about that. Like that can happen after what we're trying to hook into.
Okay, but because the page appearing, so this is also firing the page appearing event. So this is the only page appearing event you get.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so the page appearing is firing before the page has been constructed at all on the platform. So the idea there was that like right now appearing is super random, and a lot of times it's fired from the platform. So like the whole idea I wanted with shell was I wanted appearing to fire before there was even a renderer created on the page. That way you could set up the entire page first, so the initial page was correct when it first creates the renderer. Whereas like right now on iOS, appearing fires after a page has appeared. So yeah, shell fixes a lot of that, those life cycles. But we don't have any life cycles for after. We don't have any like appeared or we have a spec for unloaded and loaded.
See, but I mean, it's basically, like for iOS, right? It's the view will appear, the view did appear.
Yeah.
It's just trying to, like, it's always made sense to me that like appearing should trigger on that view did appear part, right?
Yeah, right now it fires kind of. That's where appearing gets really weird. So like view will appear is where it currently fires.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah, that's why iOS is super weird. But yeah, that's why I kind of, because appearing is more of a logical concept even for forms. So like for example, if you have like in Android, if the way it does modals currently is that it just puts a view on top of another view in a view group. So technically the page underneath of it is so technically the page like underneath it is still on the visual tree and like appeared, but it's not visually appeared from the person. So like there can still be things in iOS where view will appear or did appear throws, but they don't actually see anything. So like we ran into an issue with that with the way the new modals work on iOS. Because the way that old modals work is that when a modal pops up, the view controller behind it is still there. But with the new modals, if you change it to like over context or the new one, when the modal pops up, the one that's under it actually disappears. And then when you swipe it, it reappears. So because we were doing all those events on the platform, it kind of throws weird sets of events now based on how we're doing it. So a lot of what I did with Shell was I tied all the appearing stuff to just be cross-platform so that it's consistent on all the platforms. So it's just, it's we can logically operate on it better.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, that way it's just more, because it's always just, hey, this is gonna appear, just so you know. But yeah, and then we're gonna hopefully have a loaded and unloaded soon, and those tie to platform events. So those are ones that are gonna actually apply to like view did appear, the global tree observer, and then literally just loaded and unloaded on UWP. And then at some other point we'll have like an appeared. Is our thoughts. So I don't know. All right, cool. Well, I guess that's good for now. I'll push some stuff up. Good-ish progress.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's always frustrating when you have to deal with stuff like that, but we ended up somewhere useful, so.
I think so. So. Yeah, maybe next week or something we can jump on and do this again.
Yeah, and just have it be productive from the get-go.
Yeah, I think next time we'll be a lot more productive for sure.
Yeah, I figured this time would just be some environment setup and getting refreshed on it. So cool. All right, yeah, well, this was fun.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, definitely, Dan, and I'll talk to you soon, and I'll see you in March.
All right, sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.